One-time Thurman is a legend in the ring.
I was raised for this.
But world champ Sebastian Fundora is towering above the competition.
Fundora, top of the world as the unified champion.
As they collide, can Thurman win a major world title one more time? Or will the towering Inferno stand tall in the end?
You're about to see a whole nother level of boxing.
It's Sebastian Fundora versus Keith Thurman. Saturday, March 28th, live on PBC on pay-per-view on Prime Video.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to MGM Grand here in Las Vegas, Nevada, as Premier Boxing Champions presents our ceremonial weigh-in for tomorrow's exciting night of boxing. And it is all headline 12 rounds for the WBC Super Welterweight World Championship. The champ, Sebastian the Towering Inferno Fundora, takes on the former unified champ, Keith One-Time Thurman. It is all brought to you by TGB Promotions and Samson Boxing, sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Now, preceding the pay-per-view tomorrow, we also have 3 bouts for First on Prime, and it all starts 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 2:30 p.m. Pacific, streaming live and free on Prime Video. Now, let's get to those bouts. 6 rounds in the featherweight division. First up, coming to the stage with a record of 7 victories, opposite of 4 defeats. Representing Morelia, Michoacan, Mexico, here is Brandon Medina. And now we welcome his opponent, coming in undefeated, 4 victories, 3 by knockout. Representing Phoenix, Arizona, here is Brayan Gonzalez. All right, we'll welcome our first fighter to the scale. Once again, here is Brandon Medina. 124.6, 124.6 for Medina. And now we welcome the undefeated Brayan Gonzalez. 125 on the dot, 125 on the dot for Pau Gonzalez.
A mí me gusta ver con la sabrosura con que esa morena mueve la cintura. A mí me gusta ver con la sabrosura con que esa morena mueve la cintura. Y a mí me gusta ver su delicadeza, una mano en la cintura y otra en la cabeza.
6 rounds in the featherweight division. First on Prime tomorrow. It's Brandon Medina versus Brayan Gonzalez. All right, now we move on to our next bout, 10 rounds in the lightweight division. And this bout is brought to you in association with Box Lab Promotions and Kings Promotions. Coming to the stage first out of Reading, Pennsylvania with 16 victories, 12 by knockout, opposite of 1 defeat and 1 draw. Here is Julian Gonzalez. And now we welcome his opponent coming to the stage. Undefeated, 11 victories, 9 by knockout, no defeats, and 1 draw. Representing Las Vegas, Nevada, here is Kaipo Gallegos.
What I so okay, got a Benjamin and a Jackson all in my house, like I'm Joe K. Hellcat, made his own boys in them types of lace.
All right, now we welcome to the scale first, once again out of Reading, Pennsylvania. Here is Julian Gonzalez. 134.2, 134.2 for Gonzalez. And now we welcome to the scale once again the Las Vegas native Kaipo Gallegos. 134.8, 134.8 for Gallegos. On Prime, preceding the pay-per-view tomorrow night from MGM Grand Garden Arena, Julian Gonzalez against Kaipo Gallegos. All right, we are now set for our main headliner for First on Prime. This will be 10 rounds and has a weight limit of 172 pounds. Bringing to the stage first with a record of 18 victories, 11 by knockout, opposite of 3 defeats and 1 draw. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada by way of Los Angeles, California, here is Kevin Newman. And now we bring to the stage with a record 17 victories, 13 by knockout, opposite of 1 defeat. Representing Phoenix, Arizona, here is the fast rising Elijah Garcia. All right, we now welcome our first fighter to the scale once again. Out of Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Los Angeles, here is Kevin Newman. 171.4, 171.4 for Newman. And now we welcome the Phoenix native, Elijah Garcia. Also 171.4, 171.4 for Garcia. This is our headlining bout for First on Prime tomorrow night, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 2:30 p.m. Pacific, live and free on Prime Video. Kevin Newman versus Elijah Garcia. All right, ladies and gentlemen, those are our 3 bouts. First on Prime, once again, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 2:30 p.m. Pacific from the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Now it's time to turn things over to the legendary Hall of Famer, Mr. Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Thank you, Miguel. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you indeed, and welcome to the MGM Grand here in Las Vegas, Nevada. As Premier Boxing Champions continues with the festivities, and this time we move to present the PBC pay-per-view on a Prime weigh-in for our big night of action taking place tomorrow night at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, and brought to you by TGB Promotions and Samson Boxing, as sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is is yours. Well, our opening pay-per-view attraction is also presented in association with Toro Promotions, along with Warriors Boxing and Box Lab Promotions. Let's bring our heavyweights to the scale at this time. Once again, our opening pay-per-view attraction. First, fighting out of Phoenix, Arizona by way of Sonora, Mexico. Please welcome the knockout-minded heavyweight. Here is Cesar Cachalu Navarro. And now presenting his opponent, he'll be joining us to the stage. Fighting out of Los Angeles by way of Gyumri, Armenia. Standing at 6'6", here is the undefeated heavyweight slugger known as Big Goog. Introducing Gurgen Hovhannisyan. Well, it looks like our fighters are ready to step onto the scale and weigh in. First to the scale. With a record of 15 wins and 3 losses, he has 13 wins coming by way of knockout. To the scale, please welcome Cesar Cachalu Navarro. 210.2 pounds, 210.2 pounds. And his opponent, world-ranked contender with a record of 9 wins, no losses, 8 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the undefeated Big Goog, Gurgen Hovhannisyan. Big Goog weighs in at a ready 281.4 pounds, 281.4. There they are, ladies and gentlemen. Heavyweight sluggers open up our pay-per-view attraction. Big Goog, Gurgen Hovhannisyan versus Chaka Cesar Navaro. 10 rounds of boxing in the heavyweight division. PBC pay-per-view on Prime. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear from our fighters. And here we're honored to have presenting some Q&A opportunities. Please welcome acclaimed and multi-talented boxing reporter, Jordan Plant.
Thank you, Jimmy. This is a big opportunity for you. How are you going into this fight mentally?
I'm really prepared. I'm really blessed. I want to thank God I want to thank everybody that came in support. It's an amazing feeling, and especially because I'm fighting out of a little town in Mexico, and I'm over here fighting in the MGM. I'm just blessed and happy, and I'm mentally prepared.
What gives you confidence going into this fight?
I feel like I've been around for a little bit. I've been fighting with big guys already, so he's just another name.
We'll see you in the ring tomorrow night. Best of luck to you. Thank you. It's your first fight in Las Vegas, and you're at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. How does this moment feel for you?
This is my dream for fight here. This is big for me, big opportunity for I show who I am.
What do you want to show Navarro in round 1 tomorrow night?
I show real boxing, technical boxing.
You seem like you're locked in and focused. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan Plant. Thank you very much to our heavyweights opening up our pay-per-view attraction tomorrow night. Once again, brought to you by TGB Promotions and Samson Boxing. Pay-per-view begins at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. here in the Pacific. Make sure you join us. It's a big night of action. We have 4 fights coming your way on our big card. Let's move on to our next attraction as Premier Boxing Champions continues with our weigh-in for our next pay-per-view attraction. This one is brought to you by TGB Promotions and Warriors Boxing is sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Let's bring our fighters to the stage at this time for the NABO and WBA Continental Americas Middleweight Championship. First, a Cleveland, Ohio native and a former U.S. Olympian. Highly respected, battle-tested contender. Please welcome Terrell Gausha.
Got a cousin I ain't seen in years when we came up, sleeping on the same bed. I'm a main dog, maxed in the fed. Keep my little nines on warfare. Drinking boats without his gun blowing. I would say they take a nigga.
And his opponent in this middleweight attraction, fighting out of Rhode Island by way of Camagüey in Cuba. He is the amateur sensation, undefeated professional world rank contender. Here is Yoenli, El Diablo Hernandez.
You the one that's having your man, can't get no sleep on. You the one who walk around on fleek on. You the one that started from the bottom, but you reached your peak on.
Then it looks like our fighter's ready to step onto the scale. Weight limit on this fight is 160 pounds. We have middleweights. First, with a record of 24 wins, 5 losses, and 1 draw. He has 12 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the acclaimed 2-time national champion and 2012 U.S. Olympian. Please welcome to the scale, Terrell Gausha. 160.8 pounds, 160.8. And his opponent ready to step onto the scale at this time brings a record of 9 wins, no losses, 8 big wins coming by way of knockout. He's a rising contender, knockout-minded, undefeated world contender. Here is Yoenli, El Diablo Hernandez. 158.4, 158.4 pounds for Yoenli Hernandez. And as our fighters ready to face off, bringing to your attention and reminding you, pay-per-view begins at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and that's 5 p.m. local time here in Las Vegas. There they are, ladies and gentlemen. Yoenli Hernandez, El Diablo versus Terrell Gausha, our second pay-per-view offering middleweights for the NABO and WBA Continental Americas. Please note on that fight, Gausha over the weight limit will not be able to take the title, but certainly can be an upset winner, defeating the undefeated defending champion. Jordan Plant, take it away. Let's hear more from our fighters.
Thank you, Jimmy. I know you have to be a little disappointed about the weight. But how does that change your mindset going into the fight?
I am disappointed about the weight because I'm a true professional. But, you know, I always come in on weight. But, you know, my body's changed a little bit. But still the same. We run the same play. The same things going down on March 28th.
You have that old school mentality about you. What are you going to teach Hernandez tomorrow night?
Skills pay the bills. You know, it's not about who the stronger guy, you know, about knockouts, is about skills, and that's what I'm put on display.
What does that look like from the opening bell?
I'm just being sharp, being focused, and I'm doing what I do. You know, just boxing and being the best I could be.
Looking to take him to school tomorrow. Good luck. Another big moment for you. How does this feel?
Otro grande momento para ti. ¿Cómo te sientes?
No, me siento bien de estar aquí una vez más y nada, mañana vamos a ganar esta pelea porque la vamos a ganar, mañana le vamos a romper toda su cara.
I feel good being here, and tomorrow I'm going to win this fight.
You're a rising star. What are you hoping fans learn about you in your fight tomorrow night?
Tú eres una estrella en ascenso. ¿Qué es lo que quieres decirle a tus fanáticos en esta pelea?
Nada, que se mantengan atentos de Yoenli Hernández, que vamos subiendo, escalando los obstáculos más difíciles poco a poco y espero que después de esta pelea se abran puertas para lograr el objetivo de ser campeón mundial.
I just want everybody to to notice of me. I'm ready to be a world champion, and my name is going to be here. I'm ready to be a world champion.
Locked in and ready. Good luck tomorrow. You're welcome.
Thank you, Jordan Plant. Thank you to our fighters on our second pay-per-view attraction. For those of you who are in the local area, want to bring to your attention, there are still tickets available. Join us on asx.com to purchase your tickets. We have a full afternoon and evening of boxing, and make your plans to join us. Great to have you with us. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Premier Boxing Champions continues with the weigh-in. We present the co-main event of the evening, and this fight is brought to you by TGB Promotions, Warriors Boxing, and Box Lab Promotions. We'll bring our fighters to the stage at this time. Once again, we are sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours, and this is a showdown in the super welterweight division, one of boxing's most rich and exciting divisions today. Bringing our fighters to the stage, I first have the pleasure of introducing to you a fighter fighting out of Las Vegas right here by way of Albuquerque, New Mexico. The former interim WBC Super Welterweight World Champion. Please welcome Brayan La Bala Mendoza. And now introducing to you his opponent from Santiago de Cuba. He's the former interim WBA Super Welterweight World Champion. Introducing El Bandolero, Yoenis. World Champions. First, let's bring to the scale. With a record of 23 wins, 4 losses, he has 17 wins coming by way of knockout. He's a world-ranked Super Welterweight contender and the former dangerous WBC Super Welterweight World Champion, Brayan La Bala Mendoza. 153.2 pounds, 153.2 for Brayan La Bala Mendoza. And his opponent holds a record of 11 wins, only 1 defeat, with 8 of his wins coming by way of knockout. He's the accomplished former Super Welterweight World Champion. Please welcome the top contender. Here is El Bandolero, Yoenis Tellez. 153.8, 153.8 for Yoenis Tellez. There they are, ladies and gentlemen. Showdown in the Super Welterweight Division. 2 former champions. Yoenis El Bandolero Tellez versus Brayan La Bala Mendoza.
Brayan, you told me that you like when your back's against the wall in fights like this. Why is that?
It just brings that dog out in me. I built my career off this. You know, I fought my way out of obscurity before. I don't like obscurity. I feel like I belong on the biggest stages, you know, just like this one. And this opportunity could not have lined up better. I'm right here, co-main event with Fundora. I'm still pushing for that as long as he's got those belts. If Thurman picks him up off him, then, you know, I'll be aiming at Thurman. But this is a perfect opportunity. We've been working. They think they got me off the couch, but they're about to see, just like, you know, Jason Rosario, and they thought they got me off the couch in 9 days. Same thing. I feel completely confident in my abilities, you know, all the technique and the drills we've been working on, and just it's all coming together.
Any final words for Tellez?
Just be ready. I hope he brought his best. You know, I know he got a full camp, so I expect, you know, his best version, but he's about to find out a whole nother level to this game.
You thrive in moments like this. We'll see you tomorrow. What did you see in this face-off right there with Brayan Mendoza?
¿Qué viste en este face-off? ¿Qué le viste en él?
Nada, vi un peleador con ganas de recuperar lo que tuvo en algún momento y nada, un peleador que es bueno, ¿sí me entiendes? No, realidad, él sabe, el sábado hay una guerra de grande.
Well, I just saw somebody that wants to be what he used to be, and I'm here to go big on a big fight.
Mendoza says he thrives in moments like this. What's your response to that?
Dice Mendoza que él son momentos que le gustan para ser mejor en momentos como este. ¿Qué respuesta tienes para eso?
Él puede decir lo que le dé la gana. Yo también, ¿me entiendes? Soy de coger oportunidades. No es lo mismo hablar que hacer, ¿sí me entiendes? Entonces, el sábado hay que hablar, hay que hacer más y hablar menos.
He can say whatever he wants. I'm here for the same reason. He has to talk whatever he wants to talk. I'm here for the same reason, and I'm going to do what I'm going to do to accomplish what I want.
Thank you so much. Good luck tomorrow.
And ladies and gentlemen, reminding you about our pay-per-view. Of course, it is available, PBC pay-per-view on Prime. It's available on Prime Video. It's also available any and everywhere. You can't miss it, and don't miss it. It's a great night of boxing coming your way tomorrow evening. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Premier Boxing Champions presents the weigh-in for the featured bout of the evening. And this bout is brought to you by Samson Boxing and TGB Promotions. And, of course, sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Let's bring our fighters to the stage at this time. The main event of the evening. First presenting the challenger from Clearwater, Florida. Number one, boxing for most accomplished welterweight for so many years. He is the challenger. Please welcome the former unified welterweight champion of the world, Keith one-time Thurman.
You won't remember, I'll be the one you won't forget.
Thurman, accompanied by his supporters, ready to chop down the tree. Keith Thurman, the challenger, will be to the scale first.
It's going down. I'm yelling timber. You better move. You better dance. Let's make a night. You won't remember.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we invite the defending world champion to the stage at this time. From Coachella, California, he's one half of boxing's only brother and sister world champion team. At 6'6". Here's the defending WBC super welterweight champion of the world, the towering inferno, Sebastian Fundora. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring our fighters to the scale for the main event. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Super Welterweight Championship of the World. The weight limit on this fight is a very strict 154 pounds. First to the scale, we have the challenger. The renowned challenger with a record of 31 wins, only one defeat, and 23 wins coming by way of knockout. Once again, please welcome the former unified welterweight champion of the world, Keith one-time Thurman. 152.6 pounds, a trim and ready. 152.6 pounds for the challenger. And now we invite the reigning champion to the scale and rising star of boxing. He holds a record of 23 wins, 1 loss and 1 draw, with 15 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the reigning and defending WBC Super Welterweight Champion of the World, the towering inferno, Sebastian Fundora. 153.6 pounds, 153.6 for the defending world champion. There they are, ladies and gentlemen. It's the PBC pay-per-view main event of the evening. 12 rounds for the WBC Super Welterweight Championship of the World. The towering Inferno, Sebastian Fundora, taking on the challenger, Keith one-time Thurman. Once again, let's hear more from the fighters. Here is Jordan Plant.
Thank you, Jimmy. Keith, you've seen it all when it comes to fight weeks. You've been around a while. What excites you about this one?
I mean, you already know. I mean, this is Las Vegas. This is pay-per-view. This is for the world title. A great champion. Just another great night of boxing, a great historic night. With your man, Keith one-time Thurman, man. I love boxing. I love being here. And, yeah, I'm just excited. I hope you are, too.
What keeps that fire burning?
Just love, just passion. That's what I've been telling everybody, man. I don't know. It's so easy to say I love you on the phone and maybe write a little card here and there. But, you know, true love is something that you never want to let go. So until these boys get rid of me, your man, Keith one-time Thurman, going to be here. And the new, he can't stop this. This is timber. It's happening. He going down. Flashbacks all day.
I'm feeling that energy, and this is your first fight back in Las Vegas in 4 years. And fun fact, my first boxing match ever that I worked was you versus Guerrero. So it's kind of a full circle moment right here. Is there any last message you want to send to Fundora?
He already knows. He's going to feel it, man. He's going to feel it. Y'all want to know what I'm going to do? It's simple, baby. We're going to hurt this boy. We're going to hurt this boy. Easy work. Easy work. Chop them down like wood, baby. Look at them bricks. Look at the little sticks. Little stick legs, stick arms, light chin. Easy work. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you can love him, but he don't belong in the ring with Keith Thurman, and you're going to see why tomorrow night.
We'll see when that bell rings, Keith. You're right. Good luck tomorrow. Thank you. Sebastian, I think it's apparent that you and Keith have very different personalities. You're very calm and composed. At this point, is that part of your edge?
I don't know. That's just how I am. You know, I let all my talking be in the ring with my hands.
Tomorrow, you're going to step in the ring versus Keith Thurman. And on paper, he is your toughest opponent yet. What gives you the most confidence going into this fight?
It's because of me. You know, I'm confident in what I have. I'm confident in what I've been doing. You know, this is a long time coming, and we're just here to defend our title again.
What will fans see from the opening bell?
Expect a great fight, a jaw-dropping performance.
I'm looking forward to it. Thank you. Good luck tomorrow. Jimmy?
Thank you, Jordan Plant. Thank you to both of our main event fighters. We also want to thank all of you for being here today and your support of this big night of action. And we want to thank our streaming audience for joining us this afternoon. What a great night we have in store for you. Pay-per-view is the headline part. 4 fights. We have 42 rounds scheduled. Join us as we start 8 p.m. Eastern Time live and 5 p.m. Pacific Time. On behalf of PBC, TGB, and Samson Boxing, thank you very much and have a very good afternoon.
Keith one-time Thurman is a legend in the ring.
I was raised for this.
But world champ Sebastian Fundora is towering above the competition.
Fundora on top of the world as the unified champion.
As they collide, can Thurman win a major world title one more time? Or will the towering Inferno stand tall in the end?
You're about to see a whole nother level of boxing.
It's Sebastian Fundora versus Keith Thurman. Saturday, March 28th, live on PBC on pay-per-view on Prime Video.